I'm sure that by now you've seen the video of the incident on United Airlines that happened yesterday and the appalling follow-up and then corrective follow-up by Oscar Munoz, the chairman and CEO of United Airlines, trying to fix this enormous PR problem. What made it interesting to me, and I think what makes it interesting to those of us in the video business, is not so much that they beat up and dragged a passenger off the plane, although that certainly is interesting in and of itself, but the fact that this was recorded by people using their smartphones, which everybody has one, and then shared on social media, and apparently it shot to the top of trending, not just in the United States, but in China of all places. So for a company like United, this represented a serious problem. And of course, Munoz was bad in the beginning and has finally figured out how to respond. But there's a much more interesting thing here that's taking place. And that is that these events, and I'm sure they happen fairly often, I don't think they always beat people up, but bad things happen all the time, before that went virtually unknown. They went unknown because we lived essentially in kind of a media desert. The only things we got to see were the things that networks like CNN or ABC or NBC decided to go and cover. And what they went and covered was fairly limited because even a company like CNN has a limited number of cameras that they can send around the world with crews, and it's complicated and expensive. So let's say that 99.999% of the things that happen in the world always went unrecorded. And if they went unrecorded, they went unknown. When we teach the video classes here on the VJ.com or in the boot camps, we always say, if you didn't shoot it, it didn't happen. And effectively, there must have been tons of things that were happening all the time that never got shot and therefore effectively never happened and never got on the radar. I think this is why a guy like Munoz was taken aback, because he's not used to living in a world of what we'll call video ubiquity. But this is the world increasingly that we're living in, where everybody has a camera all the time, whether they realize it or not. Now, when people began to shoot the video of this poor doctor being beaten and dragged off the plane, which was pretty shocking in and of itself, and posted it, suddenly there was an enormous and almost visceral and instant response from the viewing world, which is all of us, all 3 or 4 billion of us who are online. And of course, United Airlines got caught in the squeeze. And of course, now they're responding and we'll fix this and this is never going to happen again. So that's an interesting reaction to a policy that apparently, according to The Guardian this morning, has been in place since the 1960s, that effectively, even though you paid for your seat, you don't own your seat, and the airline can throw you off anytime they want. And there they turned this 50-year policy around in about a day, which is remarkable. The thing that the takeaway here for me is not so much that, well, I'm never flying United again. I never fly United anyway. The takeaway for me is that the power of citizen journalism, because that's effectively what we saw here, was citizen journalism. It was people simply shooting a news event and then sharing it with the world. Well, a guy getting beaten up a plane, that's certainly kind of a news event, and that fortunately doesn't happen every day. But lots of other terrible things do happen every day, or things that you are concerned about. And up until now, none of those things, whether it's a homeless person who lives on your street, or the fact that your train doesn't work, or the fact that your car, you got a lemon from General Motors, or whatever little story you have that concerns you, or the refugee family, or whatever, it doesn't matter. There's a billion stories that aren't being told because up until now there's been no video. And when there's no video, the event didn't happen. Well, now there is video. So the fact is that, yeah, you can wait until a tornado hits your mobile home and shoot video and give it to CNN, or you can wait until somebody next to you on a United Airlines flight gets beaten up and bloodied and dragged down the thing. But there are thousands of other stories that are of concern to you or to me or to anybody else anywhere in the world that up until now no one has focused on because no one has told those stories. And the power of video, and one of the reasons that we started the VJ.com and the thing that we believe so deeply in, this democratization of video, is to take this power of deciding what is the global agenda of what we will talk about today, which is in the hands now of PR companies or CNN or NBC and Lester Holt, and they say here are the top 5 stories of the day, but this is nonsense in a world of 7 billion people. There are a lot more top stories, and now for the first time, the ubiquity of smartphones and video and the internet all married together give us an opportunity to change the discussion, to inject things into the global conversation that we think are important as opposed to what they think is important. And that's really the democratization of video, and greater extent, the democratization of public discourse, which is something that has to happen. The event on United Airlines was a first step, or an interesting toe in the water, in this democratization of public discourse. Had there been no video on smartphones, none of this would have transpired. But it did, and it gives us a larger lesson. Don't wait for a guy to be beaten up. If there's something you are concerned about, get out your smartphone and shoot a video, and of course, do it in a compelling way, which is one of the lessons we've got here, and share it. Share it with us, share it with social media, and increasingly, the dialogue, the things that are important in the world will not come from politicians, but will come from the people, which after all is what democracy is supposed to be all about.